I keep hearing the name Harlow. I don't know if it's a first name or last name. So right now I'm asking that he comes forward so that I can talk to him. I'm letting him know that it's safe, that we're just here to talk. He's wearing old soldier's uniform. He's either Revolutionary War or civil, but I'm getting more Revolutionary War by the jacket that he's wearing. But I'm going by appearance. His clothes are kind of disheveled a little bit. He has medium length hair that's dark and curly. He's young, as he appears young.
So he sees you.
Yes, he sees me.
Do you think he was buried here or he was in a battle?
He's here.
He's here?
Yeah, he's here.
So he's residual energy?
No, he's communicating with me. He's not residual.
Okay.
So he's an intelligent spirit. He says, my name is John. Keeps going behind this tree right straight ahead in front of me. He knows that he's passed, but like he's stuck here. He's not sure really what's going on with that. He said, I've been looking for my wife. I've been telling him that the wife has passed and she's crossed over, the same as your children have passed and crossed over.
May we move up towards those graves there?
Do you feel comfortable with us enough for that? Yeah, he does. He does. I would move forward.
What did you say his last name was?
Martin.
Martin?
This is his stone.
Is this your stone?
And I don't know about
Oh, there's
this
a
one.
name way down here.
Yeah, there's a name down there.
Nathan.
Looks
Looks like Nathan Martin down there.
Yeah.
And these are markers, so they were in the military.
Oh my gosh.
See it?
Yeah.
Those are, it says 1775.
His wife was marrying stone. Good call, Kathy.
So they're veterans, they're both veterans.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So 1775, yeah, that's revolutionary.
Is he still there?
Yes?
If you can't move them on to a higher level, can you help change their state of mind?
I'm telling him the answer is for him to cross to be with his family. Some of them won't. And I try to reason with them to say, if you cross, things would be better. Mm-hmm. They won't relive their death state, or in this case, he's not. He's just stuck.
Okay.
And so he can be crossed over very easily if he wants to go, which I believe he would go.
Okay.
But some of them choose not to go, and they choose to be with their family rather than stay. And sometimes they don't even realize that they're dead. They don't know what's going on. Why am I still here?
Yeah.
And
Does he realize he's dead?
he does realize he's dead.
And if he
But
can
he's
see
been
the,
looking for his wife. He can see graves because he said there's one in here that there's a grave for a Harlow in here. And maybe part of it too, I just get with him, he feels pretty sad and maybe doesn't want to deal with that his wife's gone. But he seems very confused, like he doesn't quite understand why his wife isn't here. He's here. Why is my wife not here? Mm-hmm. And he's stuck right now. Okay. But I think he will feel better when he does realize, okay, that my wife has passed and my child has passed, that I need to move on.
hopefully the viewers might be able to see something through the camera. Sometimes you can.
So John, if you'd like to cross over, we can discuss that. And I can connect you with your family so that you won't be wandering looking for them. I think you know that they passed, but I think where your confusion is you're not understanding why you're still here and they're not. And that's really what your confusion is about.
Can you ask him if there are many others here that haven't passed that are wandering?
He talks about an older woman that tends to be down in the other side. The other end is where she tends to hang out. Occasionally he'll see two children running through, playing. Okay, John, so I'm going to cross you over and allow you to be with your wife and your children. He said he's very excited about that. He's ready to go. He's more than ready to go. So he's kind of hanging his head. Don't need to hang your head. It's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a white light over here to the left of me. And I want you to go up to that light and step through that light. So as it gets larger, okay, now it's big enough for you to go through. I'd like you to come forward and step through that. He's coming forward. He also has his gun with him. He's coming up to it. He smiles. He sees his wife. His children were grown. And he steps through. And now that white light becomes smaller and becomes smaller. And he's through. Good.
Did he cross?
Yes, he did.
Thank you. Well, that was really very cool and wonderful that you could pass him on.
And be with his family.
Shall we continue our walk?
Sure.
Did you find a Harlow grave?
Not yet. It's hard to read a lot of the stones.
Check up through here. I'm getting like right up through here. Here it is.
You found it?
Yep. In memory of Harlow, son of John and Abigail Ames, who died October, I think that says 1st, 1811.
That's amazing.
Age, looks like age 21 months. Must have been an infant. There's a lot of energy over by this tree.
Do we have a name?
No. She wanders. She just wanders through here. She may have the connection. I believe that's her that's saying Harlow. So it's probably the mother to that baby, because I keep hearing the name Harlow. I believe it's coming from her. But I just get that she wanders. She's just here.
It's funny that the parents' stones are not located
They're not
near.
there. No.
They may have been, but they fell over and broke and weren't repaired, or. And then there's a stone on the tree over there too.
I hear laughter of children. I actually see movement of two small figures, but they're kind of like running, playing, almost like they're playing tag or something and giggling and running. But I'm not seeing faces. I just see figures, small figures. They're probably like 6, 7, 8 years old. They're young, but they're playing.
Do you have any concept of what they'd be doing all day if they're playing, but there's got to be something else they're doing? Are they interacting with others? Do they stop? Do they sleep? What do they do?
Some are very interactive. To me, they all have a mission on the other side. It is to help others. It's to oversee things for other people. This is kind of like their time. So they're playing, they're having fun, just like they would be as regular children. But, you know, if they haven't crossed, like John was stuck here, so that's different. But when he crosses over, then there's jobs that they have on the other side. Some of those jobs may be to oversee things and help protect people and protect others, almost like a guardian angel or a guide to someone else. And what draws them here is that they're probably buried here, but they're just here having fun and playing.
And I see a lot of little stones out there, so, but you cannot get a name or have them stop it where their stone is?
I can't communicate with them, they're playing. They're running and
really?
playing. Yeah, they're not talking to me like John was. They're just having a good time and playing and running, and I'm asking them to come forward, but it's like they don't even know I'm here. They're just playing and having a good time.
Well, I guess that's a good thing, huh?
Yeah.
Kathy, do you sense any evil in this cemetery? Is that something that's picked up on?
I don't get any evil. The older woman is just having a real hard time, and I feel that she lived to an old age, and then she passed, but she really just missing someone, and I believe it's a child, and never got over that. And I believe that's why she's here and that she wanders, and she seems very sad. She's not evil though. I don't feel anything negative here that's real bad or anything like that. I see her where those 3 stones are, and she's walking more towards the stump. Are you willing to communicate with us? Are you willing to tell us what's going on? She says, I've lost him. She kind of blames herself, illness. And I just felt she's lost a child. She just never got over it. She just cries. She doesn't really want to communicate with me.
Can you tell her it wasn't her fault?
I did, yeah. I did tell her it's not her fault, and it was an illness. You know, that he did love her, and he knew of her as being his mother, and she did what she could at that time to help, but she just felt like there was more she could have done. It's more of a carrying of guilt rather than that she neglected the child. It was more of carrying guilt because he passed, and she felt there should have been something more I could do.
What about her husband? Is he in the area as well, or?
I don't see him at all. I just see her. She's over by the stump, but I don't see him at all.
Is there anything we can do for her?
No, I don't believe there is.
She doesn't want to move on
No.
to be with him or her?
I can't get through to her. I'm asking her, you know, is there anything we could do for you? Can we help you in any way? Can we cross you over? But she just doesn't want any part of it. She's very, very sad.
Can you try to walk closer to her, just you,
Sure.
and see how close you can get to try and get through to her?
She's on the stump and she's getting up. She walked off this way and now I don't see her. She started heading that way. She turned and she was sitting facing me, got up, turned around and went that way, and now she's gone. I've asked that she's come back. She really doesn't want to deal with me. She doesn't want to work with me at all. Yeah, no, I can't get her to come back. Not right now. This tree itself has a lot of energy connected to it, and I'm not sure why. I all but feel there may have been something with lightning in this tree, but
Do you get anything by feeling the tree?
yes, I do. Yeah, it's psychometry, where I could get a feeling for the different energies. This tree has a lot more energy than just a regular tree. So some of it's that it's in a cemetery because it gets its nutrition and life from the cemetery. Some of it's part of that, but it's not all of it. This was hit by lightning at some point. I get a burnt smell with this stone. It might be how they passed in a fire or something. I'm getting like a smell of fire and smoke. It's very old. It's hard to tell. You can hardly even see the writing on it.
My name is Betty Miller, and I am the Director of Paranormal Investigators of New England.
I'm Kathy Eastman. I'm the medium on the team and also an investigator.
Hi, I'm Heidi, and I'm the Assistant Director for Paranormal Investigators of New England, and also an investigator.
And I want to give a special thanks to Joshua Miner of Sleepy Owl Films, who services the videography and editing service to the greater Champlain Valley and beyond. You can find him on Instagram under Sleepy Owl Films. So thank you, Joshua. So we wanted to ask some questions to Kathy today. Mediumship is such a mysterious concept for many of us who don't have that abilities. So we're going to ask you the questions that everybody wants to know.
Okay.
So I'll start first, and then Heidi will be joining us with it. So Kathy, do you remember any certain experience that ignited your abilities?
I remember when I was 4 in a house that I grew up in as a kid that was very haunted, and I used to see spirit at night, and I used to wake up my dad and tell him that there were people in my room. And so he'd come in and turn the light on, and we'd look under the bed, and we'd look all around and behind the dresser and all around in the closet and every place, and he had to reassure me that there was no one in the room and it was okay to go to sleep. And he would shut the light off and take a few steps, and I'd say, they're still here. So to me, that was the beginning of it, when I remember things happening. But I'm sure it happened before that, but that's my first time that I remember things happening. And that happened often.
There is talk of going into a different brain frequency when people, such as you, do this, like a meditative or resting state. Do you do this?
I do go into a different state. It is a more relaxed state. You can't have high emotional time of anything personal going on. It's very difficult to get into that state. But it is a more relaxed state so that you're able to receive and hear and feel what's going on around you.
When we started our paranormal team, we were data-driven only. So the question was, why be on a paranormal team if you can see spirits?
I really enjoy being able to direct in different ways if I see something or feel something. And also, I like the idea of using the equipment to show the client, because even though I can see, feel, and hear spirit, they cannot. So it's nice that they have the evidence of the voice that I also heard.
Are there times when we find something on our equipment that you can't detect?
Yes. There are times there are voices on the recorders that I may not have heard.
You've been known to ask spirits questions and get answers. Have you ever asked them if they've seen God or what happens on the other side?
I have asked what goes on the other side and what they do, and it seems like they have kind of a mission or jobs that they have to do, and different people that they may look after, whether they be family or someone that isn't family. But they're there to help guide and to help those on this side. So yes, I have asked.
Thank you. It is said that everyone is psychic to a degree, but not everybody or everyone is a medium. Do you believe that people can meditate to raise their frequency and be able to communicate with the afterlife?
I don't feel that everyone can. I feel that you have to have some abilities to be able to do that to start. That if you have some type of things that you're sensing or feeling, that there are ways to develop that and make it a lot more than it is. And I believe too that there's different degrees. There's different degrees of sensitivity or being an empath or being a medium, are all different levels of what people can receive.
As a medium, what frightens you the most?
I don't have anything that really frightens me. I do handle some things that are different. In other words, if we have something that's demonic or is very negative, I would handle that a lot different than something that's very mild and friendly.
What's the most common misconception people make about mediums that isn't true?
That they don't believe in it, and many of them feel that mediums are able to communicate and get all the answers. And that's not the way it is. A message may be presented to you, and the information is selective as to what is given to you. And that it's also not for financial gain of the medium or of the person that you're reading, that these different messages that you're given are for personal development, family development. It's not for winning the lottery.
So you had told me one time about a time that you were standing in a doorway and you were watching people at a dinner table and they had passed on, and then they turned around and saw you. Do you remember that story I'm talking about? Where they pointed you out in return. Can you tell us that story? I think it's a great one.
The dinner table. I'm trying to remember which one that was.
We were actually at the Conjuring House, and you
Okay.
were standing in a doorway, and you said, I remember one time I saw a dinner table with two men talking. Do you remember that?
Yes. And sometimes when I go to different places that are older, I will see things that are back in time where there's almost like a blend with today. It's almost like a thin veil, and it's a glimpse of something that's happened in the past, and they're actually able to communicate with me in this day and time. Where I think I'm just viewing, I'm just getting a glimpse of something, and then they start communicating with me.
So they saw you back and pointed you out. So does this make you believe in a parallel universe where they're actually having dinner and they're seeing you in their real world? Does this make you believe a parallel universe, or how does that work?
I believe in different dimensions, yes, I really do. And I believe since that they had passed, it's almost like a interactive residual in that they're going through something that they went through, but yet they're very interactive because they're very aware of what's going on at this time. And I've had that happen before at different places.
So I know that you can move spirits on. There are some spirits here who are lost, they don't know why they're here, and you can help move them on to their family and such. When you do such a thing, do you feel that there's a sense of peace or closure after you move them on? Can you sense that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
And in this case today, when John was moved on and he saw his wife standing in the light and seeing the smile on his face and being happy that he's finally connected with her,
Okay.
because he kept looking for her. He didn't, even though there's a stone, they sometimes don't connect that, okay, they passed, but then why am I here and where are they?
Right.
And so when he saw her, it was nice, you know,
Right.
to have that closure and that peace that he's moved on and he's now with his family.
Yep. So we know that some spirits are intelligent spirits. What makes the difference between residual energy and an intelligent spirit?
Residual, they're just going through the motions, almost as if it were a loop in time. When you go to a battlefield, you may see a battle going on, and they're not aware of you there. They're still living what they were living.
Okay.
And it's an imprint into that area. Whereas being an intelligent spirit, they can communicate, they can answer questions. This person today gave us, he would be considered intelligent because he gave us his name. He let us know why he was here and what was going on.
Right. Right. So a lot of people think that spirits are more on the negative side. It's something that's not normally a part of our world, so they have a misconception about spirits. And we know that some spirits like to do things to get your attention, but can they be comical?
They can be very comical. They have the same personalities they had when they were here.
Okay.
So the positive spirits can be very friendly, can be very nice, can be funny. They could be mischievous. They could be helpful.
I know that you communicate with your guides. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that something that everybody is able to do?
Not everyone.
Okay.
But I feel that a lot of people, if they work on it and develop it, can make that connection better with their guides
Okay.
and get that communication to go back and forth.
Do you believe in God or a higher power?
I believe in God, but I'm very open to people believing in a higher power in very many different ways. There's religions, and there's also other aspects of Native American beliefs and so forth where there's a higher power.
Why do some spirits remain or just come in and out visiting the living? Do you know why they would like to do that or feel a need to do that?
Some are stuck. Some maybe had a very tragic death, and some choose to stay. Maybe if they didn't have a very good life and were, say, a very mean person, but had some religious aspects to them, they are not going to be eager to cross because they're not going to want to, in their mind, have to pay for what they've done. So they may be stuck here for choice. Some may stay if they had a long marriage or a closeness to someone. They may decide to stay because they feel they need to be there for their spouse or their children. But then when they do, it's better if they do pass. When they pass, if they cross over, because at that point they can come and visit their family members or their friends, and it's a lot better, because some may get stuck in their death state if they are stuck here. Not all are, but some are. So I believe that it's better if they cross. And that's what I try to do, so that when they come back, they can come and different spirits can come and visit their family and friends at any time that they like. They're not here all the time, but they do occasionally come in, and they are familiar with what's going on in your life.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
And again, we're Paranormal Investigators of New England. You can find us for an investigation on pi-ne.org. We combine mediumship with data-driven, and by data-driven I mean equipment that is going to record in many different formats, and we combine the two. And so it's pretty cool, and I think you'd enjoy it if you have suspicious activity in your home or business. And I want to say thanks again to Joshua Mina, Sleepy Owl Films. Look them up on Instagram for your videography services. And that's a wrap, and we will see you later. Thank you.
Thank you.